It's time for Girard High School basketball.
Give and go. Now down to D. Weidman. Off the glass and in. Nice shot by D. Weidman.
Girard Sports Live is presented by Croccan, your community technology partner. Also by Ag Choice of Hepler. American Family Insurance, Jenny Collins Agency. Bradshaw Collision Repair. Bumper to Bumper. Daryl Westoff with American National Insurance. Chicken Annie's of Girard. Community National Bank and Trust. Derailed Commodity. Farm Bureau Financial Services. Farmers Bank. Girard Medical Center. GN Bank. Hydrix Appliance. The Jagged Edge. Kennar Eye Care. Larrett Ceramics. Leah Smith Agency Farmers Insurance. Lehman Realty. Mathis Drug. McClellan Sanitation. Norris Advertising. Paoni Dental. Producers Cooperative Association. And Call Service.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is Trojan Basketball on Girard Sports Live.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is not basketball season. Tonight it is wrestling season. Welcome to Fort Scott, Kansas, the first ever duel between Girard High School and Fort Scott. Tonight's matchup will be the Trojans versus the Tigers. Trojans come in the very first year ever having wrestling, and we're excited. If you can hear it in my voice, let me tell you, the world is a good place, in my opinion, because we have wrestling tonight on Girard Sports Live. We're going to step away for 1 minute. We'll be right back. Mr. Ferguson and I will discuss how the point system, how the weight classes, and everything else that it deals with wrestling in just 1 minute. You're listening to Trojan Wrestling on Girard Sports Live.
Community National Bank and Trust has been serving the area for 30 years with a strong commitment to the highest quality leadership and banking services. Stop in soon to pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue Mascot Debit Card. While you're there, be sure to ask about My Mobile Money and mobile banking, Guardian Secure Checking, and People Pay. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. Community National Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Girard Schools. Go Trojans!
Croccan Telephone Cooperative has been serving Girard in southeast Kansas for 65 years. In 1952, we helped our members connect with each other using telephone lines. Today, we connect our members with the entire world using fiber optics. While the technology has changed, our commitment to deliver it to our members has not. Good luck, Trojans, from your friends at Croccan. Check us out on the web at ckt.net.
This is Greg from the original home location of Derailed Commodity in nearby Brazelton, Kansas. Our home location includes the warehouse for our company's 16 other stores, allowing us to feature a huge selection of furniture at outlet prices. We also feature by far the area's largest in-stock selection of carpet and floor coverings, and the absolute lowest prices on mattresses. We're your source for lodge-style rustic furniture for homes and cabins. So come see us at our large facility in Brazelton, your destination for outlet pricing.
For more than 20 years, Call Service has been serving Southeast Kansas. Call Service has a huge selection of tires from great brands, including Michelin, BF Goodrich, Hankook, and Cooper. Farmers and ranchers trust Call Service with fast, reliable, on-the-farm service daily. Plus, Calls is the first stop for lube and oil changes in Girard. Get back in the game with a stop at Call Service. Check them out online at callservicellc.com or call 620-724-4121.
And welcome everybody to Fort Scott, Kansas. Once again, tonight's very first ever wrestling duel brought to you by Girard Sports Live, the Trojans versus the Tigers. Girard Sports Live is presented by Croccan, your community technology partner. Don't get bit by slow speeds and high prices. Get Gigabit, the fastest internet in Southeast Kansas with Croccan. Learn more. Go to ruralfiber.org or see everything Croccan has to offer at ck.net. We're on the pregame show sponsored by Community National Bank and Trust, serving the area for over 30 years. Stop in soon and pick up your very own Girard Trojan instant issue mascot debit card. Community National Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Girard Schools. Learn more online at mybankcmb.com. It is time to bring in my partner tonight, Mr. Ferguson. Mr. Ferguson, say hello to the world.
Hello to the G-Town Nation, and let's get ready to do some wrestling.
Some wrestling tonight. You know what? We've broadcast basketball, we've broadcast football, softball. You know what? Tonight's wrestling. And this is the first ever year for Girard to have wrestling. Let's just run down just a little bit what the wrestling team has done this year. On December 7th, they ran down to Caney, and they placed 6th out of all the teams. On December 14th, they went to Anderson County. They played 5th. On December 20th and 21st, they went all the way to Fayetteville, Arkansas, Mr. Ferguson, and they placed 15th. How many teams was down there?
That was one heck of a tournament there. I'm thinking that was 28 teams in that tournament. We had teams from Texas, from Kentucky. I mean, there was teams all over the place. We was the only Kansas team, and we represented well.
Represented well on our very first ever. We'll get into some of the experience these boys have here in a little bit. Then on January 16th, we made the travel north to Wellsville, Kansas, which, if you don't know, that's in between Ottawa and Olathe.
That's right. In Boonville.
In Boonville. We scored 128 points on our young team. That's scoring 3rd place. And I believe there were 16 teams there. Then we turned around and we went to Burlington, was canceled. Then we went to Parsons just last week, placed 5th with 67.5 points. Mr. Ferguson, what is your overview of the first year of Trojan wrestling?
Excitement. If you can do it in one word, it's excitement. This team is exciting to watch.
You know what? We'll come right back. We're going to run down some of our athletes, some of our what their records are, and then we're going to get right into the point system. We're going to talk about what you're going to look for from the referee, the hand gestures, and everything else that we're going to have. But you're going to watch it all right here on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan Basketball on Girard Sports.
Girard Medical Center now offers both outpatient pulmonary and cardiac rehabilitation services. Our approach combines physical therapy, respiratory therapy, behavioral health, and nutrition to help you become more fit and active.
With cardiac and pulmonary rehab, we want to focus on lifestyle changes. We provide people with education to help prevent further events.
Each treatment is unique to the individual patient because at Girard Medical Center, we care for our communities one patient at a time. Call us at 620-724-5126.
Farm Bureau is proud to support Girard High School student athletes. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, their #1 goal is to make insurance simple. Agents Judd Sasho, Lori Johnson, and Lisa Sasho take pride in educating their clients and members so they are able to make the best decisions. There's a lot of information out there, and at Farm Bureau, they can explain it in a way that relates to you so you can apply it to your life, family, farm, and future. To learn more, contact Judd, Lori, or Lisa at 620-724-4213. Go Trojans!
Mathis Drug Store Incorporated has a proud Girard history of more than 50 years. Glenn and Karen Mathis took over the store in 1983 from Glenn's father and have been providing outstanding customer care and service since. At Mathis, they know their customers by name and value their support. Primary goal is to provide fast, accurate, friendly service. Mathis is a full-service pharmacy that accepts most insurance plans and supports competitive cash pricing. Mathis Drug Store, a proud supporter of Girard High School student-athletes.
McClellan Sanitation is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. McClellan Sanitation is also proud to have been serving Girard and the surrounding area for decades. McClellan Sanitation offers residential, commercial, and roll-off services. As a locally owned and operated company, owners Dave and Candy McClellan and their employees are dedicated to providing the highest quality customer service. To learn more, call McClellan Sanitation at 620-724-8486. McClellan Sanitation wishes the Girard Trojans the best of luck this season. This is Trojan Basketball on Girard Sports Live.
Once again, welcome back to Fort Scott, Kansas. It is not basketball tonight. It is wrestling. I'm going to bring in Dave Ferguson, my color guy tonight. Dave, let's talk a little bit about wrestling. Where do we need to start off with describing wrestling to these guys that have never seen a wrestling match?
Well, if you've never seen a wrestling match, we probably ought to start off with what position we're going to start the match off with and what the colors mean on there, and we'll go to the points after that.
All right, so starting off, as you can see, we have our wrestling ring down here. You have an inside circle and an outside circle. The outside circle is the out of bounds. The inside circle is where we will start. You'll see a green tape and a red tape on a rectangle box there, and the green will be a home, right?
Green is home,
green
and
is
red
home.
Will be away.
Red will be away. Mm-hmm. To start off, neutral position. Explain neutral position, Dave.
Neutral position will be both wrestlers will be standing up facing each other on their respected lines. Their toes must touch. One toe must touch their respected line, that colored tape out there in that inner circle.
All right, so once we start the match in neutral position, both wrestlers facing each other, they'll shake the hands, they'll blow the whistle, and we have a 2-minute period. To start off that 2-minute period, what are we looking for?
Well, first thing, them two wrestlers they're going to be looking to attack each other, okay? And they'll be circling around, they'll be attacking, and once one is attacked and takes what we call covering the hips, we'll be do a takedown. They take the opponent down and cover the hips to their back. That is a 2-point score.
So 2 points for a takedown, and then once one guy gets taken down, what is the opponent trying to do? They're trying to escape.
That opponent is trying to build a base and escape out of that opponent's grasp. That will earn that opponent that's down. Once he escapes, will get him 1 point. So the score would be now 2-1.
2-1, and then once the guy escapes, then we're back to a neutral position. Both facing each other, and now the point system starts all over. 2 points for a takedown, 1 point for an escape.
Right on.
We'll go through the first period. 2-minute periods here. We'll have 3 2-minute periods. Once we get to the second period, what happens then?
Okay, once we get to the second period, you're going to see the official flip a coin that is colored red and green. And once that red and green is colored, whoever gets that coin toss gets their choice of position. The choice of position, that they can either go down, which means that opponent will, or the wrestler of choice will get to go down and try to get a quick 1-point escape. Or he can take top, which means his opponent will go down and he'll go on top and try to work him for a pin. Or they can go back into the neutral position. If the wrestler feels like he's got a better opportunity to score a 2-point takedown, they will go into the neutral position.
All right, so once we are in the second period, this can happen at any time. Let's talk a little bit about near fall points. Describe a near fall point. Once a wrestler takes the other wrestler down, when he has him down, he's going to work to get near fall points, and the easiest way for me to describe that is the shoulders turning to a 45-degree angle towards the mat. And they're going to call that a near fall. Now you'll see the referee on his belly, and you'll see him counting. What is he doing there counting?
He's counting. Once them shoulder blades break that 45 to 90-degree plane, he will start counting. And once that count starts, once he gets to 2 count, he gets a 2 point, or that opponent will get 2 points. The offensive opponent will get 2 points. If he makes it to a 5 count, that will be a 3-point near fall.
3-point near fall. And when we describe near fall, a fall is when both shoulders are held to the mat for a period of a short, could be a 1 second, could be a 3 second. You'll see him slap the mat, and that is called a fall. So a near fall is you're almost pinned, and we're going to call a pin when your both shoulder blades hit the mat and they're kept there. Your opponent holds you down to the mat, and we're going to call that a pin, but that is actually on scoring is called a fall. So right. Near fall points. So what that official will do, you'll see him count, and you'll see him hold out either 2 fingers, and he'll tap the mat with it, or he'll hold 3 fingers out, and he'll tap the mat with it. Once, if the wrestler that is down gets out of that position, you will see the referee point to his back and hold up 2 or 3 fingers. And that is going to let the score taker know that there's either 2 near fall points or 3 near fall points.
That's correct.
So there's a lot of information we're going to go through. We're going to go through slow. We'll explain it when the matches come up. But you know what? There's a few others. There's some stalling. There's some illegal moves that we will talk about. But for right now, if you can get a takedown, an escape, near fall points, and a pin or a fall, those are the 4 or 5 different positions or different way to get points that we're going to be most focused with tonight in our very first ever broadcast of Girard Sports Live. We're going to step away for one more minute. We'll be right back. We'll discuss some more points, some more of the kids. We're going to go through the kids' records, the young wrestlers for Girard. We'll be right back. You're watching Girard Sports Live and Trojan Wrestling.
This is Trojan Basketball on Girard Sports Live.
Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Of course, Ag Choice has all the products you need to keep your crops growing, like fertilizer, crop protection products, and seed. But Ag Choice is also the first stop for keeping your livestock operation going, with a great selection of farm supplies, equipment, and quality feeds. To find solutions to all of your agricultural needs, contact Ag Choice of Hepler at 620-368-4347. Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans.
Peony Dental is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. Chris Peony DDS offers exceptional dentistry for all ages in a friendly atmosphere. In fact, Chris Peony has been caring for smiles since 1993. No wonder so many Trojan fans look so good. Peony Dental offers preventative care, Invisalign, whitening, bridges, crowns, and more. Stop by today and ask about the all-new CEREC dental system, offering same-day crowns, start to finish, right there in the office. To learn more, visit them at 106 South Ozark in Girard or go online to peonydental.com. Find us fast in names and numbers.
When I wake up in the morning, love, the sunlight hurts my eyes. Then I look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day.
Chicken Annie's Girard is a proud supporter of Trojan Athletics. Chicken Annie's of Girard serves up the area's best fried chicken and a whole lot more. Check out their weekly specials like chicken and noodles on Wednesdays, Thursday nights kids nights, and Friday boneless wings. Oh, and don't forget about those delicious homemade pies. Stop in or enjoy their mouth-watering favorites at home with carry-out and catering available. Chicken Annie's Girard, continuing a Southeast Kansas tradition. Learn more at chickenanniesgirard.com or call 620-724-4090. This is Trojan Basketball on Girard Sports Live.
Welcome back to Fort Scott, Kansas. It is not basketball, it is wrestling. You'll see a great shot of the mat right there. It is time for the Keys to the Game, brought to you by DS Construction, LLC. The keys to your next construction project is a call to Dustin Sneed at DS Construction. With more than 20 years of industry experience specializing in new construction, roofing, renovations, and much more, call DS Construction at 620-724-0209 for a free measurement and estimate. Mr. Ferguson, what is the keys to this match?
Right now, we got Girard that's facing Fort Scott. Fort Scott's really they've had a program a long time. They're very well coached, but Girard just needs to stay focused and do what Girard has done so far this season, and that is to continue to learn and be super aggressive.
That is my thoughts exactly. Do the fundamentals right, be aggressive, be tough, and let me tell you what, it takes a lot of pride to walk out on that mat. There's no one to blame out here.
That's right.
It is mono e mono. I'm better than you, and I've got the ego to go with it. And that's all you can say about wrestling. These young men have not been on the wrestling mat that much compared to a powerhouse Fort Scott school that has had wrestling since I was in high school.
That's correct. They got some history down there.
Let's take a look at what the Trojans, the young men, have done so far this year. Right now, Derby McReynolds is the only senior in the 182 weight class. He is 22-2, 22 wins and 2 losses. Jarrett Buckle, he is in the 145 weight class. He is 7 wins, 11 losses. Gage Bourne, he's in the 120 class. Both those are juniors, by the way. At the 120 class, he is 5-9. Gabe Sharman, a junior, in the 160 class, 13-13. Seth Ferguson in the 170 class, 8-14. Zach Shindo in the 195. That young man has never seen a wrestling mat before in his life, and so far he is winless, 0-15. Connor Oliveira in the 135 weight class, 7-3. Young man didn't get to wrestle until after the Christmas break. Drake Brooks, a sophomore, 106, never seen a wrestling mat before, and he is 10-8.
Stud, man.
Stud
He's
muffin,
gonna be
I'll tell you.
stud.
Briar Glosser, our one and only state qualifier last year. He is a sophomore in the 120 weight class, 16-7. Let me explain that. When I say the only state qualifier, last year Girard co-opted with Southeast, but when you get to regionals, you have to wrestle for the school you're from. Glosser made it to the state tournament, and we're proud of him for that as a sophomore 120 class, and he was 16-7 this year. Noel Busby, sophomore 152 class, 7-10. Josh Bohr, sophomore in the 220 weight class. We're getting up there a little bit in weight. He is 4-13. Once again, never seen the mat. Bo Harris, a freshman, 113 weight class. He is 10-11, and that young man has never seen the
Tough
mat
kid right
before.
there. Two super tough kid right there.
So, and then we're going to go on down. Justin Ferguson, he's a freshman as well. He wrestles usually in the 120 weight class. He is 1-3. And then Christian Taylor, another freshman in the 138 weight class, 0-5. And then Juan Perez, he is a freshman as well. He'll wrestle in the 160 class, and he is 0-5 as well. When I say this, guys, I want to tell you, you're going to say, oh, wow, he's never won a match. Let me tell you, they're wrestling kids that have wrestled for 12 or 13
That's
years.
right.
And these kids are wrestling for the very first time.
You know, for the folks at home that Girard's new to wrestling. You know, I've been around wrestling for quite some time now, and wrestling is not a sport that we can just pick up and learn overnight unless you're a freak of nature. And I tell you what, we do have a couple of young kids that are almost that freak of nature. Another year, and they're going to be studs.
You know, let's just talk about those kids that we were just talking about. You know, well, first of all, let's say Derby McReynolds wrestled last year for Southeast. He had a huge youth wrestling background. Gabe Sharman wrestled youth,
Yep.
and so did Glosser wrestled youth.
Right.
So last year we had 6 guys. We had Gabe, we had Derby, we had Buckle, we had Glosser, we had Seth Ferguson, and Gage Bourne.
Yep.
Went down and co-opted with Southeast just to get on the mat.
Yeah, that was kind of a part-time. We kind of felt like that was a part-time team. Now Girard's got their own identity, and these boys are really putting their building that foundation for Girard in the future.
That's right, and this is the future. We'll talk a little bit more about the future. You know, this is the very first year. We didn't get any middle school wrestling tournaments on Girard Sports Live. We don't get any middle school action on Girard Sports Live, but let me tell you, there was 30 kids in the middle school, 7th and 8th grade, came out to wrestle. So Coach Reek, let's talk just a little bit about our head coach.
Yeah, let's do that.
Coach Dave Ferguson, tell us about Coach Reek a little bit.
You know, Coach Reek we got him from Pittsburgh. He's that kid. He was a state champ at 138 pounds. He went up and wrestled for Jody Thomas at LCC. Then he moved on to Fort Hays and wrestled a couple more years out there. That guy's got 23 years of experience, and he wrestles all year round. He's going to build one heck of a program here. Underneath him, he's got John Bishop. John Bishop's been around this sport a long time also. He was a wrestling coach out there at Valley Center and at Pittsburgh also. And then we got that young Wes Jamison. That kid is really good for our kids. He gets down there and rolls around. He is fresh out of the womb. I mean, he's a multiple state qualifier. He's a state runner-up. He's been coached under Coach Reek, and he knows Coach Reek's ways.
You know, let's talk about Jamison just a little bit. I have coached the youth program over at Frontenac years ago when my son Gabe Sharman got in to wrestling at the very beginning, and Jamison was there. I taught him just a little bit, and more than anything, he taught me about the sport of wrestling. And, you know, I watched his dedication, his work ethic. And let me tell you, Gabe has come home many a times and said, wow, Coach Jamison is a stud on that mat. He has learned so much from these young coaches and Coach Reek that, you know, he just has grown leaps and bounds, and this team has grown leaps and bounds just in 1 year. We're going to step away for one more break. We'll be right back. We're about ready to start the first ever duel between Fort Scott and Girard right here on Girard Sports Live.
When I wake up in the morning, love, the sunlight hurts my eyes. Then I look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day, lovely day, lovely day.
Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Of course, Ag Choice has all the products you need to keep your crops growing, like fertilizer, crop protection products, and seed. But Ag Choice is also the first stop for keeping your livestock operation going, with a great selection of farm supplies, equipment, and quality feeds. To find solutions to all of your agricultural needs, contact Ag Choice of Hepler at 620-368-4347. Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans.
This is Trojan Basketball on Girard Sports Live.
And welcome back to Fort Scott, Kansas. We're about to get underway. It is time for the starting lineup. Starting lineups are brought to you by the Jagged Edge. The Trojans will start this game in style, but nowhere near the level of style you'll find at the Jagged Edge. Stylists Carlos Sands, Robin Hawkins, and Eva Vietti will have you looking your best for your next big game. Make an appointment soon by calling 620-724-7500. I'm going to open it back up to Mr. Ferguson. We think this is where they're going to be at. We will know exactly when they call out their names. Before they will call out names, they'll come together, they'll shake hands, and they'll go back to the benches. But the starting lineups that we think for the Trojans will be, Dave.
We think at 106 we're going to have Drake Brooks. He's an exciting kid. We've got 113. At 113, we've got Bo Harris, another tough kid. Then we're going to have our Briar Glosser. I mean, that kid is he's that state placer we talked about earlier. Then we got Gage Bourne, super flexible kid. He's up and coming too at 128. We got Connor Oliveira. He's new to the team, but they got him at 138, but I think he's going to go at 132. Jarek Buckle, he's going to go at 145. Knowles Busby, another tough kid, just doesn't stop, 152. At 160 pound, we got the red hot Gabe Shireman, man. That guy, he's been winning a lot here lately. Seth Ferguson, man, he's that kid's a tough kid. He's he is my kid, but he's getting it together there. And then we got the Derby McReynolds at 182. Jack Shindo, he's going to get it, man. And one of these, it's just time's coming. He's working hard at 195, and then bringing it up on the 220 with Josh Bohr. We are going to give up our heavyweight, though.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about that, how the team scoring will go. It is a duel. It is a mano-a-mano, but in a duel, it is one team against the other team. Let's walk through the scoring. So if we win by points, say Girard beats Fort Scott in a match by 5-4, how many points will Girard team get?
That is a 3-point at addition to the Girard side. That's if you win from less than 8 points, at 7 points or less separation, that is a 3-point score.
All right, so what if we win? What if Girard goes over the 7 points?
If it goes over the 7 points, anything over 8 points, 8 to 14 points is called a major decision. That is 4 points.
So once again, you can step up one more, and let's call it a tech. A tech is how many points, and how many points do you have to be above your opponent?
Tech fall is as soon as the separation gets to 15 points. Once it hits 15 points, it is a tech fall.
All right, so once again, we're going to call the final one is a fall or a pin. If the referee slaps the ground and it's a fall or a pin, how many points is that?
That is 6 points. So it goes 3, 4, 5, and 6. We got a couple. Looks like we got a couple JV matches coming up here. Get these wrestlers some time to get better here.
Get all amped up and ready to go. Right
That's
now
right.
we got Mr. Ferguson. Let's see, Justin Ferguson.
Justin Ferguson, yeah,
is going to wrestle, and once again, he is a freshman. Never seen the mat before, but you
Nope,
know what?
Going in
there
for
we
a low
go.
single there. Keep driving. He's going to try to keep driving up in there and try to get a turn there. We're still sitting in the neutral position. Now we just scored. Fort Scott just scored their 2-point takedown.
So Ferguson Fort Scott has scored 2 points on Ferguson. Ferguson right now, he's either trying to reverse it or he's trying to escape. And right now it looks like he's trying to dig in for that inside leg. And the Fort Scott kid's able to spin around behind him.
That's
no
right.
points there, still just 2 points. 2-0, Fort Scott.
Yeah, you can tell that this match is two very young wrestlers, but that's what it's about, getting better. And the only way you get better is by getting out there.
And mat time and experience is the only way to get better.
That is correct. This is not a sport for the weak, and it's not a sport that you can just jump in and be good at. You have to work at this sport.
You'll see Ferguson there peeling that arm away. We're going to call that the Fort Scott kid was getting a half in there.
Mm-hmm.
And Ferguson, the only way to counter that is to peel that half off. There we go. Ferguson working hard, trying to work up to his base, trying to get an escape out right now.
Right. Ferguson really probably just needs to build up his base and just go ahead and step away, get peeled away from this kid, and get back in a neutral position and get his 1 point. But he's trying to work for a reversal. That's what he's doing in here by grabbing the inside of that leg. But he's working at it. He's continuing to working.
That's right. That's one thing about a wrestler. A wrestler will never give up.
That's right.
And he's still working that. He's going to drive into him. They're working the boundaries right there, and out of bounds is called.
Out of bounds called. Now we're going to start in what we call the wrestling position. Girard will be in the down position, and Fort Scott will be in the top position. You'll notice that the knees have to be on the lines.
And that is the end of the first period. Fort Scott leads it 2-0. And now the coin flip that we were talking about.
Red, it landed on red, red deferred. Defer means they're going to give the choice to their opponent, and they'll get the choice on the next period.
Fort Scott chooses down, so Justin Ferguson will cover him.
That's right. Down is a popular position to take, even if you are down by a little bit, because it's an easiest way to score is by getting your 1 point escape.
Ferguson looking to drive through him, trying to get him back to the ground. If he escapes, if he gets out of Ferguson's claws there, he'll get a 1 point escape.
That's right.
Ferguson not wanting to let it go.
Ferguson, we're going to, looks like he's about got his 2 point reversal right there. So instead of getting that escape for 1 point, he got a 2 point reversal. He's got that half set in there. He's got him turned over now.
Ferguson working hard, trying not to get pinned.
You seen them.
That's going to do it for the Fort Scott. Fort Scott will pin Mr. Ferguson for the Trojans, but hard-fought battle between the two.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough sport. The good thing is for us is that these are exhibition matches right now, so this is just for these JV guys to get some time underneath their belt.
This is going to be Juan
Pizarro
for the Trojans.
Yep.
And from Fort Scott, Jamin Royal Bay.
So once again, two freshmen again.
Well, that's pretty aggressive right there. That's being aggressive.
Fort Scott being very aggressive, but you know what? Juan's not giving up.
He's snagged in that leg, and he protect that head, peel that hand off. There
Working
he's coming up
fast.
out of there, coming up. Oh, he's landed himself on top. If he controls the hips, he will score his two. Now they're going to go for a
hard-fought battle right here. Good defensive work there by Juan Perez for the Trojans.
Yep. You got the Fort Scott kid trying to suck in his heels in there, get his what we call sucking in them spurs and try to ride him out.
Juan, if he could scramble and pull that head out.
Pull that head out, he'll score his 2. And here, come on, baby, here she comes. Pull the head out. Pull the head out. There's a 2-point reversal. Now Juan needs to keep his hips in good position. Keep good position on here. This kid's pretty intense. He needs to do what we call a sprawl. There he goes. He straightens his legs out and it gets makes him long, makes him hard to get picked up.
Needs to clear the shoulders. He needs to cross face, and now it looks like Fort Scott's going to reverse it 2 points back the other way.
Reversal, yep. You got to watch that hand of that ref. He's counting. He's got quick pin right there. They got a quick pin on that one.
Good hard-fought battle there before the pin. Juan Perez, once again, a freshman. And in wrestling, as you will see, you shake the opponent's coach's hands no matter if you win or lose. It is a sportsmanship game all the way through.
This sport's about teaching about life, and biggest lesson. Some of the biggest lessons is all about that respect.
Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose in life, but you pick yourself back up and you battle all the way through it no matter what.
That's right. We want to, these wrestlers, they get out there and they can get pumped up. Their blood's running. They can, maybe try to lose their temper or something. But in wrestling, this sport teaches them how to control that. And if they don't like what they see out there, they just adapt and overcome. So how much better lesson in life than that?
We're going to step away for 1 minute while they do a little presentation here at Fort Scott. You're watching Trojan Wrestling right here on Girard Sports Live.
When I wake up in the morning, love, the sunlight hurts my eyes, then I look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day, lovely day.
Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Of course, Ag Choice has all the products you need to keep your crops growing, like fertilizer, crop protection products, and seed. But Ag Choice is also the first stop for keeping your livestock operation going, with a great selection of farm supplies, equipment, and quality feeds. To find solutions to all of your agricultural needs, contact Ag Choice of Hepler at 620-368-4347. Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans.
Chicken Annie's Girard is a proud supporter of Trojan Athletics. Chicken Annie's of Girard serves up the area's best fried chicken and a whole lot more. Check out their weekly specials like chicken and noodles on Wednesdays, Thursday nights kids nights, and Friday boneless wings. Oh, and don't forget about those delicious homemade pies. Stop in or enjoy their mouth-watering favorites at home with carry-out and catering available. Chicken Annie's Girard, continuing a Southeast Kansas tradition. Learn more at chickenanniesgirard.com or call 620-724-4090. This is Trojan Basketball on Girard Sports Live.
Welcome back to Fort Scott, Kansas. We are in the middle of doing some presentations. We told you it was a long time tradition here. How many years did they just say that wrestling program's been?
I thought they said 56 years.
56 years. So congratulations to the inductees to the Fort Scott Wrestling Hall of Fame.
1969 to 1976.
That is a tradition.
That is tradition. I'm glad Girard decided to bring it in, and we'll start our own tradition and hopefully be just as rich in the future too.
Very true. Like I said, once again, they were talking about the very first ever state placer here in Fort Scott. We have our very first ever state qualifier, and that was Glosser last year as a freshman.
True freshman.
So that is something down the road in 50 years we can bring Mr. Glosser back and say the first ever Girard Trojan ever to qualify for state was that young man as a freshman at the very first time Girard Trojans have ever downed a singlet. I guess we didn't even talk about the singlets. The outfit they wear is called a singlet.
That is correct. The singlet's been around since the beginning of wrestling. Wrestling is the oldest sport known to mankind. The state of Kansas has allowed, which most of the states across the nation have allowed what we call a two-piece singlet, and that's where they get to wear battle shorts and a battle shirt. But we still we like tradition with them singlets.
We're going to step away for one more minute. We're going to have the national anthem. You're watching Trojan basketball or Trojan wrestling right here on Girard Sports Live.
Your local Farmers Insurance agent is Leah Smith. With more than 10 years of industry experience in both Kansas and Missouri, Leah is sure to customize the right plan for you. Her straightforward and personalized approach will help you better understand your coverage options. Give Leah Smith a call at 620-670-4590. Leah Smith Agency, Farmers Insurance, proudly serving our community and cheering on the Trojans.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Crockett Telephone Cooperative has been serving Girard in southeast Kansas for 65 years. In 1952, we helped our members connect with each other using telephone lines. Today, we connect our members with the entire world using fiber optics. While the technology has changed, our commitment to deliver it to our members has not. Check us out on the web at ckt.net.
Peony Dental is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. Chris Peony DDS offers exceptional dentistry for all ages in a friendly atmosphere. In fact, Chris Peony has been caring for smiles since 1993. No wonder so many Trojan fans look so good. Peony Dental offers preventative care, Invisalign, whitening, bridges, crowns, and more. Stop by today and ask about the all-new CEREC dental system, offering same-day crowns, start to finish, right there in the office. To learn more, visit them at 106 South Ozark in Girard or go online to peonydental.com. Find us fast in names and numbers.
The producer.
Welcome back to Fort Scott, Kansas. We're lining up for the duel between the Trojans and the Fort Scott Tigers. They will come out. They will announce the numbers and names.
At 126.
These are who they're going to be seeing in this duel.
Gage Moore. Fort Scott will be open. At 132. From Girard, Connor Olivia.
So we'll make the adjustments where we need to on the numbers.
At 138, from Girard, Christian Taylor.
Christian Taylor, a freshman.
From Fort Scott, Silas Taylor.
He'll be wrestling a senior.
From Girard, Jared Buckle.
Jared Buckle, man, that kid's tough right there. He's starting to get it. That Stanek kid, he's a ranked kid number 2 in the state, I do believe.
And he is a sophomore.
Girard will be open. From Fort Scott, Donald Harper.
Harper will have an open, what weight class did they say right there?
I did.
160 class will be Shireman for Girard. Malachi Van for Fort Scott. He's a good wrestler.
That's right. He's up and coming too.
Seth Ferguson at the 170 class.
Sean Huffman.
That ought to be a good match right there.
At 182, from Girard, Derby McGriddle.
The
Derby. The lone senior for the Trojans.
Dylan Cropper. At 195, from Girard.
Dylan Crawford's going to jump. He is usually a 170 wrestler. And schemes play in this.
That's right. That's right. Schemes do play a big part. This is all about strategy here.
From Girard.
It's where can we score the most points at what weights?
From Fort Scott, Isaac Hurst.
Isaac Hurst is a junior. He will be wrestling our sophomore, Bohr.
285, Girard is open. And from Fort Scott, Grayson Quick.
So that was their heavy.
At 106, from Girard, Drake Brooks.
That kid right there, people, we need to keep an eye on him. He is exciting.
He is as a freshman.
He is first year on the mat, and this kid is real fun to watch.
Bryce, he will be wrestling. He's also a freshman.
From Girard, Bo Harris.
Another stud on the mat, Bo Harris.
Yeah, true hard worker right there.
Jason Brown.
Jason Brown there, he's a true freshman too, so this ought to be pretty good. We ought to have a pretty good duel going on.
Briar Glazer.
Briar Glosser.
Glosser will come in at the 120 class.
Now this will be a matchup right here. That Behringer kid is tough.
Captains, please come to the center.
Behringer's also a sophomore, so that ought to be a good matchup.
Honorary captains.
So your captains for Girard will be McReynolds, Ferguson, and Sharman.
Michael Dobbin and Nathan Lior, son of Lisa Bill and Mike Lior. Danica and Nathan were chosen by their principal, Mrs. Witt.
They're getting ready to go for, they're going to flip for odds and evens here. That depends on who sends out rope wrestler first.
For a dual tournament, for a dual match.
You know, in the when I was down there talking to Reek, and he came from being 18 years at Pittsburgh High School coaching, and he stepped down there for a year, and then decided, you know, he kind of missed it. So I asked him what he thought of his first season so far in Girard, and he is overwhelmed about how hard them boys work for him. In his words, he said if he told them to run through that cinder block wall, they was going to do it. He said he could not be happier right now. The Girard fan support, the parent support of this program is unbelievable, and these are all his words.
You know, and that's as a school board member myself, Mr. Ferguson, Dave. I witnessed you come in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years in a row trying to get the Trojans to have wrestling.
That's right.
Trying to tell the school board and the administration how important wrestling is. And it's not only a competition, it is a life-building sport that these young boys and girls, there is a girls division that the state CASA has adopted, but this is a life-building sport that no one else has ever been witnessed in Girard. 106, Gage Bourne, 126.
126, Gage Bourne. We got an open there, so that's a 6 points for us.
That is a 6-point draw for the Trojans. Fort Scott could not put a man in that position.
We got Olivera here. I didn't quite get the lineup in order because there are so many kids for the Fort Scott wrestling team.
Mm-hmm. They'll shake hands and ready to start.
You're at 132.
Olivera is very exciting to watch. He's like a snake in the grass.
His opponent from Fort Scott.
He moves very quick. He strikes with just such quickness.
Both of them just doing a little hand fighting here, back and forth, trying to fill each other out, trying to feel how much strength the other one's got.
That's right. They're both keeping good position. Notice their legs are spread apart. They're not crossing their feet. They get good bases on them. This is a test. How tough are you right now? What do I want to do? Olivera loves to go for the singles. He loves the singles.
He's quick to the outside. He'll work an arm bar and try to swing that arm around to get the leg. But right now he's just kind of filling him out, seeing what he's going to his opponent's got, what muscles and strengths that he can pick apart here.
Yep, they got their heads rolling together. That's good for them. Their heads are forehead to forehead. That's good for them. Good position.
Olivera with a shot, backs back out of it. Fort Scott doubles with a shot, and Olivera counters with a sprawl. So
Fort Scott's trying to suck him in for a lateral right now. What we call laterals when you get thrown. You start seeing him sucking them elbows. He's trying to go for a lateral.
Olvera, a smart wrestler. He's wrestled before in the youth programs over in Pittsburgh and wrestled for Pittsburgh last year in the JV. But good duel here, down to 29 seconds here in the first period. And it's pretty much just a filling out. Two veteran wrestlers here and just filling each other out. 20 seconds left remaining here in the first period.
One of them, they're skilled enough that one of them's probably going to get ready to take a shot with the last 10. So there's that shot. Here comes in. He's sucking them elbows in for a lateral. We see him. Oh, reversed it by Oliveira. He slipped his grip. Oh, Oliveira got saved by the ringer there.
Boy.
Three near fall on that.
Three near fall. So 5-0. Fort Scott up over Oliveira.
Got the 5 points that came from 2-point takedown, and then because it was close to a pin, he was able to get the 3 count to get the 3 additional points for a total of 5. Oliveira's got the spiral set in. See if he can return him to the mat. Nope. Got an escape 1 point Fort Scott.
So Oliveira down 6-0 here in the beginning of the second period.
Yeah, Oliveira's got some work to make up here. But, this is nothing to panic about. This sport is not we're not in it for high scoring. We got to be strategy. You got to be staying into the match and not get sloppy and get yourself on your back.
Oliveira looking for that position. Now he takes a shot, falls to the ground, and Fort Scott's able to cover him.
Fort Scott's trying for he rolled over on the farmer's sling. Now he's got it. And Oliveira's got his arms up. He's got his shoulder blades up. Got it.
So that will be a fall. Oliveira will fall to Fort Scott. So Fort Scott will come back. 6-6 is the score in the team duels.
Number 38 from Girard, Christian Taylor. His opponent, Fort Scott, Silas Taylor.
Christian Taylor going to wrestle for Girard. He is a freshman.
He's a freshman that's on the bump on the weight from 145 to 38. So he was able to make the 38 weight. You can't wrestle any heavier than your 38. You can wrestle lighter, but you can't wrestle heavier. Coach is calling for a crossface, and if we go to the back, there's 2-point takedown.
Taylor will struggle to get off his back to get away from the near fall points. He'll get back around.
Built to his base like solid foundation. Got to escape. There's 1 point. Got the score 5-1 right now.
Once again, these young wrestlers at times going to give up some experience, going to give up some points and it's just going to be experience points more than anything.
That's right. We much rather, you never know. You need to throw a kid in there instead of just give them the 6 points for a forfeit because we don't have anybody in there. But you never know. One of these kids can catch them in a throw and get a quick pin out of this.
Good scramble there by Taylor to get off his back. It will be a 3-point near fall for Fort Scott. Taylor working up, trying to get one more point for the escape. He's building up his base there.
Yeah, you can tell that the Fort Scott wrestler's got a little bit. His body's a little bit more mature than our young Christian Taylor.
He'll jump sides try to get some near fall points. Taylor doing a nice job to scramble back.
Nice job for defense, man. That kid's doing some good defense right there.
That is the end of the first period. Fort Scott leads at 10-0 in the first period. Green will take down. Fort Scott will be in the down position.
We need to throw in that tight spiral, return him to the mat. Return him to the mat. Oh, got to get his head up. Needs to lock in that leg, cross face. He's running a cross face. He needs to get his arm on the other side of that armpit.
Nicely done by Taylor, trying to get some near fall points. He's got an arm
got a
tucked
barbed wire
underneath.
going on there.
Yeah, he let go of
let
it.
it go of it. He's got it. Oh, there's another lateral.
It's going to be a throw. Taylor hasn't seen that before.
No, he's only seen JV action. I don't think he's probably seen anything like that. He needs to be reaching. He needs to be reaching with his right hand. Reach. He's got that shoulder blade up. He's fighting. He's got good defense rolling here. He's pushing against that inner thigh. Keep pushing against the inner thigh, and he got it.
So Girard will fall again. Another pin for Fort Scott. But once again, great battle by the freshman.
That's right. You know, it's all about this mat time. We got to get these kids mat time. We're a young program. We'll get some. We should probably get some pins up here coming up. This is Jared Buckle here, man. This kid, he's gotten stronger through the season. The Stinnett kid, I looked at the record. He is third in 4A right now.
Ranked third in 4A. Buckle, once again, his second year wrestling. Last year was his very first ever wrestling year. Jared has done a great job learning, but sometimes just giving up too much experience.
Right. When you talk experience, you're talking technique and everything here. When you got guys that are ranked, you got guys that are dedicated wrestlers. These guys, this is what they live for.
Fort Scott gets 2 takedown points. They didn't clear the single point from last time.
Jared Buckle, I haven't looked in the records, but man, that kid hasn't been pinned very often. He just does. He is hard to pin. They may score on him, they may tech him, but he's very hard to pin. See how flexible he is, Dale? I mean, he
is long for a wrestler, and that works in his advantage at times.
He needs to pull up on that foot, turn on that hip. The guy's got a power half in. He's trying to do it from the right position. Buckle just needs to keep fighting that hook right there on that left leg. There he goes. Get his head up. Now he's on his base. See, there he's defense is good. Get off that hip. He's reached. He needs to take his right leg and just clear that foot instead of grab his opponent's foot. He's got himself interlocked in there. There you go. Got Coach Reek down there coaching him through it, getting him out of this predicament.
Once again, Buckle, second year wrestling against a kid that is ranked third in the state in 4A.
And he's wrestling with him. It's not like this kid is out here. It's not like an easy breezy story for him.
2 seconds remaining here in the period. Jared Buckle will make it through the first period. Only down 4 points against the number 3 ranked wrestler in 4A.
At 132 pounds. I think he's actually ranked third at 145. Yeah, 135. Nope, he's third at 138, Dale. I'm sorry.
Buckle will have the top position. Stinnett will work up. Buckle has a leg.
Needs to keep moving his hips. He's got to his base. He's keeping that leg. There you go. He switched to the leg. Now he's still sitting on that right leg. He's kind of getting himself in a bad position here. He got 2 for a takedown.
He's going to work to roll him up right here. If he can roll him to his shoulders.
There goes a power half. Oh. You see the hand. You cannot put both hands on the back of the head under the armpits like the old wrestling WWF stuff where they call that a full Nelson. You cannot do a full Nelson in high school folk style wrestling. You can do what we call halves, but you can't not put both hands back there.
Can't do the full Nelson. Buckle working hard not to get pinned here, doing a nice job.
If Buckle can get out of this with the number 3 kid in the state and not get a pin and just get a major, that's a win for us.
That is right. Working hard, trying to keep that shoulder blade up. In a bad position here with 40 seconds left.
Now he needs to take that left foot and he needs to hook into to Fort Scott's right leg or left leg. Oh, look at that. Slick. He got his escape.
Your ball, 1 point escape.
Nicely done by Buckle. Now a takedown by the Fort Scott.
2 takedown.
But Buckle working hard on his defense there. He's been on the ground the whole second period, and looks like he's gonna make it through the second period against the number 3 ranked wrestler in the state.
That's right. This is he has shown his grit, man. He's showing his grit.
Gonna call out of bounds with 2 seconds remaining. Buckle down 10 points.
You can kind of see some frustration going on with that Fort Scott kid. Stinnett. Jacob Stinnett.
That is the end of the second period.
Girard chooses neutral position.
Girard shooting a neutral position. They're hoping that Buckle can work himself into a quick throw and get a pin out of this deal.
Shot by Buckle. Stinnett will sprawl, but hasn't reversed it yet.
Buckle needs to reshoot. There he goes. He drives that knee in there. He needs to drive it again. Reaching, help. Got him turned.
2 takedown.
Buckle still refusing to give him that fall. He's got the near fall count for 5, so he's going to get the 3 points no matter what. It looks like they're going to stretch him out here. That's a tough position.
It is. Way to fight, Mr. Buckle.
Buckle is ripping it now. Look at that.
Working
Look at the fight that kid.
No give.
He's got a long time go, though. He's got 1 minute. That's a long time
That
to be
is a
down
long
like that.
time to be down off your back fighting, and there's going to be the fall.
I tell you what, that is a heck of a fighter right there. Got a heart of a lion.
Well, I tell you, Buckle, for his second year wrestling, is doing a heck of a good job.
Yeah, he's I believe he's a junior, isn't he? And
yep, he got another year to come.
Got another year. I was talking to him the other day in Parsons, and looks like we're open at 152. So here comes your boy.
Well, here comes Gabe and Mr. Van.
The Van Macho. This ought to be good because, I was talking to Fort Scott's coach, and Van's, they got a lot of hope on this kid. And I tell you what, your boy Shireman, he has shown up since Christmas break. I'm talking, he finished 3rd place at Wellsville?
He did. He finished 3rd, and then he got another 3rd at, he got 5th at Arkansas.
Parsons there, yeah. Oh, Arkansas. That's right.
He went out to Arkansas, got 5th. So, but Gabe's got to do just like your Keys. You got to stay aggressive.
That's right. And he can turn it on when he wants to turn it on, and he's. It seems like his confidence has been built since that Arkansas run.
It has. He has struggled a little bit with weight. This is the first year that he dropped down to the 160 class. But we'll see how it goes. Here we go.
And for Fort Scott, Malachi.
Neutral position. Here we roll. You got that Van looking for a Chuck. He's trying to go for an inside cradle. He's got it locked up. If he can get Gabe turned, he's got it locked up. Gabe's got to fight them hands underneath that pile. You can't see, the folks at home probably can't see it, but Gabe's underneath there just wrenching at this guy's hands.
He's going to get him stacked up there. Sharman's got to fight through this. He's got to break those hands somehow.
Sharman's good defense. He gets to his base really good. See, now he's back on his base. He's out of that danger.
He has a hold of Vance's hand. Yep. He's trying to work up and keep that hand.
Yep, he's keeping the hand. It's a frustrating Van. You can see by the way he's jerking around. He's got his back, which, we're still good. Got Gabe, he's on his base. Gabe likes to do a lot of switches. He likes to kick them hips way out there and try to switch around. Now he's going to get a farmer's turn here.
He's going to have to kick over the top of that to get out of it.
That's right, and he's going to have to explode to do it. There, he went to his base. He was able to get it. Van lets him up.
1 point escape.
Van's moving very quick. Van's got his 2 points again. We've got 9-1 right here. Gabe's turned into the inner leg. Gabe's really good about climbing up the rope on that leg.
He's got to hold on to that. Van's able to twist him back the other way. Gabe's got to work up here.
Yeah, he's got to get his head off the mat. There he goes. Can't wrestle with your head on the mat, man. Just can't do her.
Into the first period, Van ahead over Sharman, 9-1.
Sharman looking back at Coach Reek, getting some instruction for the next period. Coach Reek is just cool as the other side of the pillow. He just does not get excited.
Van's going to give Sharman a point just to go back to neutral. Van feels that he's got the upper hand when the neutral position. And Van is a fast kid.
Yeah, he's moving like a snake out there.
Sharman's got to work up.
They're looking for a tech fault, looks like here. Tried in for a outside single there. Not a real good attempt, but Van's got the underhook. Tried to throw. He's got his 2 points. We're at 13-3 is the score. Van scores 5 more. That will be a tech fall. Van's giving up another 2 points. He wants that neutral position. He wants to be able to attack from his feet.
Sharman's got to look for a throw or something when he comes in. He's got to look for an underhook, something to throw Van off. Right now, Van's just got all control of the world on him.
That's right. You can see the frustration, in Sharman. But Sharman's got the experience, and I've seen him do it. He can throw a mean headlock. If he catches Van just slipping, that's all it takes. It's just one little moment. Coach Reek is asking him to shoot in for a shot. Now they got their arms locked. Underhook by Van.
Throw by Van. Sharman able to step out of it. Now a shot by Sharman. Back down to the ground. Van's long and reaches in across. He can get that back leg. Sharman's got to sprawl that leg out of there to get away from it. Now Van's going to cover the hips for the 2 points.
You got 17-4. Or is it 13-4? I guess it's 13-4. 13-5. 15-5.
15-5.
15-5.
Sharman's just not able to adapt to that speed of Van.
No. And we seen that JV kid a little bit ago going, I believe it was against Christian Taylor. They're about the same size, and that kid moves as fast as this Van kid. So I'd assume that them guys are probably practice partners.
Yeah, I'd say.
And that's what we need in them wrestling rooms. We need them intense kids. We need to battle. And Coach Reek says we got a really intense room.
Van will take the top position, start the third period.
Van wrenching on that arm there.
He's
coming in trying to get that. He doesn't quite have it. He's got a set on it to be able to get that pin in there. But you got Gabe. Look at Gabe's hips. His body is completely twisted.
It is a flexibility, and now the pin's going to be called.
Yeah.
You're winner by call from Fort Scott, Malachi Van.
That's pretty tough for Gabe. He's gotten frustrated with the speed there. He's going to
have to adjust to the speed.
Yeah.
That'll bring up the 170 class. Your boy,
Seth Ferguson.
Seth will come in.
Seth Ferguson's been he's been hot and cold. He gets hot, he gets cold. He gets hot, he gets cold. I think a lot of it's his confidence. This is a thing with this entire Girard team outside of Derby McReynolds and Briar Glosser. The rest of these guys are within 2 years of wrestling, which on any other team, that is a JV team.
Right. Would not see a varsity mat till your junior or senior year.
That is right, man. And these kids are soldiers. They're coming out here representing Girard well. Even though some of our kids are losing here, this is tough. These are tough matches.
Seth looks to lock up, doing a little hand fighting. Gets an underhook in. Now let's go of it.
Seth's biggest downfall, he lets some kids in there a little deep on his legs. He needs to learn to recognize them shots a little sooner. Looks like he's kind of working at that right now. He likes to work that head and snap them, do a drag by. He's working on a drag by there. I tell you what, I roll around with this kid in the off season, and he put some bumps and bruises on me.
I gave up on Gabe. Gabe's gotten a little tall and a little stronger than what I want to deal with anymore. But Seth here working good. They're both filling each other out.
Seth goes for a shot there and didn't quite get it. Get his arm back. He needs to get in bed. He needs to get that whizzer in there. Get that whizzer in there. There's going to give up the 2 points.
Now working back for an escape. He'll work his way up, back up to his base.
Get his base.
Needs to peel that hand off. Now he peels it. Now good job. Way to scramble back around. If he doesn't keep moving his hips, he's going to stack him.
Yep, it's looking like he needs to look away from that move right there. There he goes. Now he's got his belly down. He needs to quit going to his hip and just build a solid base. At any other time, Dale, I'd be yelling and screaming right now.
We both would be. It'd be hard not to. Seth's going to fight off his back, trying to get out of the near fall. Now a pin's going to be called.
Your winner by call from Fort Scott, Sean Hudson.
Seth, I think, a lot of these second-year guys with Buckle and Seth, Shireman's got a couple more years experience on them. Gage Bourne, I think another year, if they stay with Coach Reek and Coach Jameson and Bishop through the offseason, continue to work, I think you're going to see some major improvements.
You are. You're going to see Derby McReynolds here, one of Girard's premier wrestlers this year. Derby's only lost twice.
Derby is usually a taller stature. Most of the guys he wrestles is shorter and more muscular than he is. But Derby uses his assets very good. He's got 2 points right there.
Once again, Derby wrestled last year for him, got knocked out at the regionals.
On a very, very tough match. That was tough. That was an official called match right there. It could have went either way on just a judgment call, and it just did not go Derby's way. Derby loves to ride. You'll see him. He's got right now his left hand's in there to what we call a spiral. And then he's got his right hand under the chest and reaching on the opposite side of the neck. We call it a claw ride. He's reaching in for his with the butcher there. Nope. Just let her go.
Now he hooks the other leg. See, he's always got a leg in. And now Derby will release him. He'll give him 1 point.
Got Alvin. Coach Alvin over there for Fort Scott trying to calm his wrestler down so he doesn't, this is a sport you need to keep your cool. Oh, official's going to call for is he going to call for an illegal slam?
Illegal slam. You have to take him to the ground under control. So it will be 2-2. No,
I think they just gave him a caution over that.
No, here we go. We'll talk about it.
I think Alvin's wanting a point. I think he's wanting a point out of this deal. You got two coaches. Anytime in wrestling, this is not like any other sport where you can just holler and scream at your officials. In wrestling, if the coaches they don't agree with whatever the official call is on the mat, they have to approach the head table and then talk it over with the official respectfully. You cannot yell at an official in wrestling.
And they're going to give 2 more points to Derby McReynolds for the takedown.
Good.
So Derby will start back on the top position.
See that claw right? That spirals in there tight. Now we've got a claw, what we call a claw and crotch. His left hand's up in there. He's got him slammed down. He's going for a pin. Look how long Derby is. He's got so much leverage over there.
Winner by ball from Girard, Derby McReynolds.
So that will be the first pin for the Trojans tonight. Derby will score the points.
That's right. Now we got Shindo. Shindo coming up there at 195 pounds.
This is Shindo's very first year ever wrestling. One of the offensive linemen for the Trojans.
From Girard, Zach Shindo.
You know, Dale, I've been coaching wrestling for quite a while, and if you want a better football player, you want a better baseball player, if you want to get better at any other sport, and wrestling is in your off season of your sport, wrestle.
Yep. Not only technique, conditioning, just the knowing you can make it through anything. If you can make it through a wrestling practice, you can make it through any practice.
That's right. Most of the time, if you look at the stats, wrestlers are less likely to get injured than in any other sport if they're wrestlers, because of the fact that they stretch their muscles. They're using muscles that they typically wouldn't use in any other sport. They're stretching their ligaments and their tendons. It just makes them a better athlete all the way around.
Flexibility is just another key aspect of wrestling. You've seen some of the Trojan wrestlers spun completely around and still able to move.
That's right. Now we got Shindo up here. They're really what we call locking up. Once you get up here in these bigger classes like this 195 class, 220 heavyweight class, you'll see a lot that the matches actually kind of slow down a little bit because they want to hook up on each other. Shindo's looking for a drag by there. He's got a 2-on-1 wrist. He can throw a ball bat from this position, drag by for a single. We'll see what he wants to do here. Oh, we got an underhook. We got doubles. Shindo got a good snap on that kid. Oh, look for the head and arm. There it is. That's headlock, and it's hard to get out of a headlock when it's thrown.
He's got to drop to a knee and roll through it.
That's right.
But once you're to your back, you're pretty well tied in there.
Yeah, headlocks are tough to get out of. Coming up here, we got our 220. We got our Josh Bohr. This kid, he's another lineman, huh?
Another line. Well, no, he was actually a running back, but I look for him to go to the line next year.
Yeah.
But once again, another rookie wrestler. Never seen a wrestling mat.
Yeah, we can see that the 220 Fort Scott, these heavier guys they're wanting to throw the headlock. That guy was just looking for that headlock and it quite wasn't there.
But for our heavier weights to bang with Fort Scott's wrestlers, Fort Scott's looking for a throw, looking for a headlock.
He's got the Asian hooked in there, and then he's got her locked in there. Bohr needs to just turn into him and hook the leg. Yeah, they're definitely working their Asians and their headlocks there at Fort Scott on their bigger weights.
And the Trojans will be open in the super heavyweight class, so that will give up another 6 points. So
right, heavyweight class goes if you weigh 221 pounds, between 221 pounds and 285 pounds, that's what we call our heavyweight class. If you're over 285 pounds, you cannot wrestle. But in wrestling, the good thing is it's the best way to lose weight, too.
That's right.
You replace some of that looseness with some firm muscle. We got Drake Brooks here at 106. Mr. Excitement, Dale, huh?
He is a freshman, and he is all energy. One of the fastest kids I've seen on the mat this year in all classes. We'll see tonight. We'll see how he matches up with the Fort Scott.
Yeah, this kid's strong, too, for his size. He is strong. First year on the mat. Look at that throw. Or he turned him, but he's looking. He's got 2 underhooks right there. He's allowing that kid in there on his hips and got that too. He recognized where he's at. He's going to push out and get a restart here.
Brooks just a little bit inexperienced on he had the underhooks, didn't know really what to do with them there, but he knew he was smart enough. He was close to the end of the mat, get out of bounds.
Yep. Now Brooks is really good about escaping. Look at him. He's ripping on the hands, trying to get out. They ran themselves out of bounds. Brooks is ready to go again. Look at him. Ooh, try to Granby roll there, Dale. Try to Granby on that.
Not a bad move for a freshman.
Uh-oh, now we're looking at the chicken wing. Oh, nice way to pop into it.
Brooks working, trying to get a reversal here, but Fort Scott's got an arm locked behind him.
Yeah, you can tell this Bryce Gus, he's been wrestling for quite a while. He's got some experience, being some technique here. They got him turned over. This is something you don't see very often with Brooks. You don't see him on his back very often. He's got 58 seconds to try to fight this off. He's still ripping on it.
Brooks is going to get pinned with 52 seconds remaining in the first.
Ball from Fort Scott, Bryce Gus.
That was a tough match for Brooks.
It
now
is.
we got Bo Harris coming up at 113 pounds. Here's another first-year wrestler, huh?
Another freshman, another first year, another first time ever to put on the wrestling shoes.
Fort Scott, Jason Brown.
Nice crossface. Nice crossface. He's got him in there. He needs to hook that arm. He's pulling in on that left arm now. Now he needs to roll them shoulders back, Dale. He needs to roll them shoulders back and get some weight on that kid's shoulders, and he's going to lock him in there.
Nicely done by Bo Harris.
He is a very strong kid. He needs to roll them hips back, roll them.
Just lean back. Just arch his back just a little bit. Not
There
too
it is.
much.
There it is. There it is. Let's pop that thing down there.
Look at the muscle definition on Harris. Now Fort Scott
Nice
doing a nice
fight
job
from
to
Fort
fight
Scott.
through.
Harris is looking for it again. He's got the barbed wire in there. That's what he's got. He's got a barbed wire rolling. He get his head up. He better not. He gets his head down there. He can get rolled right through that.
He's got to watch his hips. He can't get too high on those hips when he's circling the head here.
Bo's going to reset. Goes behind there and resets this. Let's work through this. He says. Got that heel. Going to fish him up. Oh, he's got an underhook over there. Going to try to go for a half here.
Harris looks to reset him.
Oh, he's in a cradling position. Bo's trying to get that cradle locked in. You see his hands reaching for each other, locking in. Bo needs to cross-face that kid up. He needs to cross-face him. He's going to reset. He's too high. He's still got him covered. He's still got his 2 points.
Down to 30 seconds remaining here in the first period. Harris needs to cross-face him and get around behind and cover his hips back up.
Yeah, let's get this reset. And you get behind him, you can breathe a little bit, and then come in. Harris needs to escape on out of there. Ooh, he was able to sneak back there for another head and arm. Oh, now he's got him covered. Look up. He's going to put his chest down on him. There he's going.
Turn
up. There he got that pin.
Nice.
That's a big pin for Harris.
Nicely done by the young Harris. That is just 100% grit right there.
That's a big win. That's big confidence for him. That Fort Scott kid had some technique on him. He just couldn't get past the power of Harris. Briar Glosser coming in at 120 pounds.
Our only state qualifier for last year.
From Girard, Briar Glosser.
Got Briar Glosser.
From Fort Scott, Sean Behringer.
This Behringer kid's tough too, though, man. This is not going to be. This should be a really good match. It's not going to be an easy win for either one of them. Briar just coming off of a tough go at it at Parsons. He ended up facing a couple of Lebanon kids out of Missouri, and I'll tell you what, them Lebanon team's tough.
They were tough. Boy, about all the way through all the weight classes. Lebanon had a lot of them. Gloucester gets out of a leg. Now Fort Scott shoots back in and gets another leg in. Gloucester's trying to
They're in a neutral position right now. Neither one of them's got control. You got Wes Jamison down there trying to coach Briar in for a bar. Trying to rip that bar out, or rip that arm out of there.
Now if he can roll him over, you start getting some back points.
He's got his 3 count. Got his 4. Oh, he's going to recount it, restart it.
Now that is some muscle to arch like that.
That is tough.
And all Gloucester's really got to do is just hold it. Hold it there and see how long he can.
48 seconds. It's tough to be in that position for that long. Briar's got it right through the chain and ball there, between the legs and his arm.
Gloucester will go up 5-0.
Gloucester going to go ahead and let him out of this and reset. Got 25 seconds here in the neutral position. Fort Scott's going in for a single. Gloucester was able to control it. Look at this.
Wow.
He's getting back points.
The Fort Scott kid needs to let go, and Gloucester just stretching him out.
Stretching him. He got his 3 back. We're going to come into the second period here. 10-1, it looks like. Yep, we got the 3-point air fall on that one. Coach Reek's putting out some instruction to his wrestler.
Gloucester will choose neutral. He's done pretty well at the neutral position so far, working off of Fort Scott's shots.
Yeah, he's usually you don't see him doing that defense too much, as far as he's usually the attacker, but came in tonight with a different game plan. That's one thing. Reek is all about putting together plans of attack for their matches. Coach calling for the reshot on them shots. There he goes. Look at that. Grabs the arm. What's the whistle for? I didn't catch that.
Potential hazardous. 1 point red.
We got to.
Not sure.
Oh, illegal headlock.
Illegal headlock. All righty.
Must not have the arm inside there. When you have a headlock, you have to have one arm in with that head. You cannot just have the head.
So Gloucester playing more defense tonight, scoring points off of the defense than anything. That was shot in by Gloucester.
That was a good-looking shot. Look at him come back in there.
He'll cover
ties
the
up that leg. Coach calling for Gloucester to get up on them toes and put pressure on Behringer.
Boy, he's got his leg hooked in there. He's got the Fort Scott wrestler's leg hooked up. Now he's going to look maybe a ball and chain. We're going to try a tilt here. He's got 2-on-1.
Almost looks like a bundled elbow move he's trying to work in, but can't quite get that right arm in. Then he's going to reset here. Oh, he's trying to get that. He's got his left hand trying to get back there for a chicken wing.
Nothing like a good chicken wing.
You bet.
Now he reaches through for the old ball and chain. Fort Scott able to fight through it. Now Gloucester will take the other.
He's shelving it up. Now he's going to try to go ahead. And this is a freestyle style move right here.
One leg under, one leg above, the other leg. He'll look to turn him.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the second period will end. Trojans up. Gloucester up 13-1.
Alvin Metcalf barking the orders at his wrestler. Wants him to go on top. Gloucester's been pretty good about escaping, so we'll see what happens here.
Gloucester will look to escape. Now he'll reverse it. Wow, look at the speed of Gloucester being able to shelf him right there.
We got 15-1 on reversal. If he gets one more point, this will be a tech fall, and he's going to get it with his back points. He's going to give him a chance to wrestle here for some maybe a pin here. If he awards the 3 points on the back, looks like it's going to happen.
He'll do it.
Out.
He'll put his hands in a T symbol.
There it is. He has just teched out. That's a good win. That Behringer kid is tough.
That's gonna do it for tonight.
That's it, man. We only got one duel tonight. We got Lewisburg and Blue Valley Southwest coming up
next week. We are off this weekend. Next week we will go to Lewisburg for a double duel, I believe. And then the week following that, we'll be in the Towanda Circle.
Tawanda's a good tournament.
It is. It will be a great tournament. And look forward to watching these wrestlers. Once again, your Trojans fall tonight on a team duel, but the young Trojans able to get some mat time tonight. We're going to step away for 1 minute. We'll be right back. Hopefully we can get Coach Reek up here for a post-duel interview. You're watching Trojan Wrestling right here on Girard Sports Live.
Your local Farmers Insurance agent is Leah Smith. With more than 10 years of industry experience in both Kansas and Missouri, Leah is sure to customize the right plan for you. Her straightforward and personalized approach will help you better understand your coverage options. Give Leah Smith a call at 620-670-4590. Leah Smith Agency, Farmers Insurance, proudly serving our community and cheering on the Trojans.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Crawcan Telephone Cooperative has been serving Girard in southeast Kansas for 65 years. In 1952, we helped our members connect with each other using telephone lines. Today, we connect our members with the entire world using fiber optics. While the technology has changed, our commitment to deliver it to our members has not. Check us out on the web at ckt.net.
Peony Dental is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. Chris Peony DDS offers exceptional dentistry for all ages in a friendly atmosphere. In fact, Chris Peony has been caring for smiles since 1993. No wonder so many Trojan fans look so good. Peony Dental offers preventative care, Invisalign, whitening, bridges, crowns, and more. Stop by today and ask about the all-new CEREC dental system, offering same-day crowns, start to finish, right there in the office. To learn more, visit them at 106 South Ozark in Girard or go online to peonydental.com. Find us fast in names and numbers.
The Producers Co-op Farm Store is committed to making your life easier by supplying you with the things you need for your farm and home. As always, the Producers Co-op Farm Store has a great selection of farm and ranch supplies, including pet supplies, ranch and corral building supplies and equipment, automatic waterers and feed bunks, tack, dog food, pet and animal health supplies, workwear, boots, and much, much more. Come in and check out the great deals on lots of new merchandise as well. Proudly serving Girard and the surrounding area, and proud to support the Girard Trojans.
Welcome back to Fort Scott, Kansas. Once again, your Trojans battle it hard here in Fort Scott. Fall in the duel. But before Coach gets up here, Dave, let's talk just a little bit about how hard it is in this sport to step right in as a freshman.
You talk about tough. I mean, these kids, this is like I said before, this is not a sport for the weak. You have to be tough. It's easy to sit up here or sit in the fans or sit in the stands and nitpick, oh, that kid just got beat. That kid just got beat. I tell you what, if you are thinking that, we can always make a matchup, and we'll go on the match too. We'll see how tough this really is.
You know, and for a person that doesn't know anything about wrestling, to watch for the first time, you're like, man, how can Girard lose that bad? Some of these kids from Fort Scott have been wrestling for 15 years.
Right.
If they're a senior, they started wrestling when they were 4 or 5 years old. And, it's hard for a freshman to step in. We're going to step away for 1 more minute. We'll be right back. Coach Reek's up here. Look forward to interviewing him. So we'll step away for 1 more minute. We'll be right back on Girard Sports Live.
Community National Bank and Trust has been serving the area for 30 years with a strong commitment to the highest quality leadership and banking services. Stop in soon to pick up your very own Girard Trojan instant issue mascot debit card. While you're there, be sure to ask about My Mobile Money and mobile banking, Guardian Secure Checking, and People Pay. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. Community National Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Girard Schools. Go Trojans!
Girard Medical Center now offers both outpatient pulmonary and cardiac rehabilitation services. Our approach combines physical therapy, respiratory therapy, behavioral health, and nutrition to help you become more fit and active.
With cardiac and pulmonary rehab, we want to focus on lifestyle changes. We provide people with education to help prevent further events.
Each treatment is unique to the individual patient because at Girard Medical Center, we care for our communities one patient at a time. Call us at 620-724-5126.
Hydrix, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Samsung savings. Leave notes, sync calendars, and display your photos on the new Samsung Family Hub refrigerator. Plus, get free same-day delivery. Why shop for appliances where the motto is do it yourself when you can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day?
The only thing better than our price is our service. Hydrix, Fort Scott, and Girard.
Welcome back to Fort Scott, Kansas. Post-game coaches interview is brought to you by Community National Bank and Trust. Coach, excuse me, serving the area for over 30 years. Stop in soon and pick up your very own Girard Trojan instant issue mascot debit card. Community National Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of the Girard schools. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. Coach Reek, thanks for taking the time coming up.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. Thank you for being here.
Coach, the first-year program, we have a few wrestlers with a little bit of experience, but you know what? You put some guys out there tonight as freshmen that have never seen a mat before this year, and they have grown so much this year. Look at Brooks and Harris, it's Shindo. These kids have never wrestled before, never even wrestled in the youth programs before, but I'm very proud of this team and where they're at right now.
No, you're correct. And I as well am proud of each and every one of them because it takes courage to go out and do this, to walk out there and wrestle in front of a nice Girard crowd. And I got to thank everybody that came over from Girard because we had as many fans as Fort Scott did. And that played a little bit of a factor, is just going out there for the first time and competing in front of a lot of people. Because they've been in tournament settings. So you have several mats and several matches going on at once, so not all eyes are on them. But this time the spotlight was on them, and it's going to take them some time to get used to that.
Coach, we talked about some of the wrestlers. Tonight we won the 182 with Derby McReynolds. Derby, the only senior on the team, probably the only duel we're going to get to broadcast. So let's talk about your senior just a little bit.
We're blessed as coaches to have a young man like Derby because he's a great character, not just a good wrestler or even possibly a great wrestler, but just a good individual. And he's a hard worker, a great athlete, and he leads by example.
Coach, to go along with that, you have one state qualifier last year. You have Briar Glosser that came back in, and tonight, boy, he had a heck of a match as well.
Yes, they bumped up their 13-pounder, who's only had a few losses on the year, and I think they were expecting a lot more out of that match than what they actually got from their 13-pounder, not taking anything from them. But like I told Briar, don't ever let somebody bump up from a lower weight and challenge you. And he stepped up to that challenge and did a really nice job for us tonight.
Let's talk about your third win tonight. Bo Harris. Bo, another freshman, working hard and kind of a speed guy, speed and strength, and he uses that well to his abilities.
Yeah, he has no fear. He's got a good motor to him. He's got a lot of gas in his gas tank. From what the boys say, he's a bull rider, a real live bull rider, and he showed it tonight.
Coach, I'm excited that this is the first year. We went through the records. You have done phenomenally well in all the tournaments. Your young men have battled through and have placed second, third, fifth. in some tournaments, even the one down in Fayetteville, ranking in the middle of the class with some huge schools. So your young men have done a great job, and that to me means a lot for a first-year program.
What we do is we just challenge them every day at practice because it carries over into competition, and it's no different than a teacher in the classroom. Your expectations are high, maybe sometimes higher than they should be, but if you don't aim high, what's the point of doing it? Because eventually they will get there, but we just got to keep chopping wood, keep our nose down, keep hunting, keep going forward, and have fun in the process, because that's a big part of it. Losing does hurt. I mean, you fall hard and it hurts, but you got to pick yourself up and keep going.
Coach, let's talk real quick in closing. What is to come? You were telling me tonight, exciting news. You picked up a duel in Iola. That's this Thursday?
Yes, sir. We're going to go over to Iola. Wrestling starts at 5:30 over there with Iola and Burlington. There was a school that pulled out of it, and they got a hold of us, and our administration's been super supportive this year, and they gave us the green light to go over because our kids need the mat time and the experience, and getting in this environment again for them will be a good thing. And plus, Burlington's in our regional, so we need to see what they have before regionals.
Coach, once again, I want to thank you for taking the time to come up. Girard Sports Live was excited to make the trip up here to broadcast, and maybe some of the people back home and light that fire. We have a great middle school program coming up to feed your high school program, and that's what this is all about here at Girard Sports Live and at the Girard Schools, is developing a quality program that you have always sustained everywhere you've gone, and we want to thank you for that.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate everything.
We're going to step away for one more minute. This has been Coach Reek on the post-game interview. We'll be right back to wrap it up right here on Girard Sports Live. Welcome back. I'm sorry I hit the wrong button. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Don't forget, we have basketball tomorrow night right here on Girard Sports Live. I believe we will be on the air at 5:30, 5:45 for the pregame show right here on Girard Sports Live. You've watched wrestling for the first time ever on Girard Sports Live, and the first duel ever in the Trojan history. We're going to wrap it up here in Fort Scott, Kansas. Once again, Girard falls to Fort Scott in their first ever duel. But don't count these kids out. They're young and they're gritty. But we'll be right back. We'll be re-rack it and come back tomorrow at a 5:45 start time. You're watching Trojan Wrestling right here on Girard Sports Live.
It's time for Girard High School basketball.
Give and go. Now down to D. Weidman. Off the glass and in. Nice shot by D. Weidman.
Girard Sports Live is presented by Kraken, your community technology partner. Also by Ag Choice of Hepler, American Family Insurance, Jenny Collins Agency, Shaw Collision Repair, Bumper to Bumper, Daryl Westoff with American National Insurance, Chicken Annie's of Girard, Community National Bank and Trust, Derailed Commodity, Farm Bureau Financial Services, Farmers Bank, Girard Medical Center, GN Bank, Hydrix Appliance, The Jagged Edge, Kennar Eye Care, Larrett's Ceramics, Leah Smith Agency Farmers Insurance, Lehman Realty, Mathis Drug, McClellan Sanitation, Norris Advertising, Bayonne Dental, Producers Cooperative Association, and Call Service.
5, 4, 3,